Yeah, yeah.
Bear down. Bear down.
It's a bear down.
Who you finna call? Bearsbanter. First things first, what's the team in question? Her Soldierville got a couple lethal weapons. Bear down, first down, couple key possessions. Come to the post game, watch them teach some lessons. Say, what? I don't think them people are convinced. I say call them, but they tell you how to read a blitz. They in cover 2. Tell me why they switch to cover 6 every Friday at 7:30. No, I cannot miss. Like, Hey, yo. Yeah, we live for the post game show.
Hey, welcome to bearsbanter talk show. Man, you know what? Before we start at the top of the show, I want to give our condolences to Mike Patterson. He's a classmate of mine and Guy, and also Plank. Me and Guy went to grammar school for a year. Strong supporter of Bears Banner Talk Show. Has been there since day one. You always see Mike comment. Pretty much, it don't matter what day we broadcast. Mike was commenting, and he actually hosted a couple of the live shows recently. Hey, Guy, did you have anything to say? I know you was able to make the service yesterday, or anybody else who want to say anything about Mike.
Yeah, man. When we first started getting a little traction, man, he was one of the guys that was one of the very first people who started commenting and started chiming in. And then we started getting an influx of people starting to come in and join the show and get involved and stuff. I mean, he was very essential to us, man. He's a good brother, man, just solid as they come. Like I said before, when it comes to your friends and family, hold them close. Ain't nothing wrong with telling them you love them because you can't tell them when they're not here no more. So rest in power, bro.
Well put. He's a good brother.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
commented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always commented. You know, I remember him attending the shows a couple times, so he actually was a participant in Bears Banner. Further to that, he actually extended himself externally. You know, allowed us to have a little get-togethers at his spot. So you know, the brother will be missed, and turn up a glass of water or whatever for him today. I hope he's resting well.
Okay. I want to say rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson. I know Dr. Quick was able to attend one of the memorial services for him yesterday. I mean, what was your experience? I mean, Reverend Jesse Jackson meant a lot. I know personally to me, and I know a lot, probably all of us, the effects he had on our life. But Quick, I mean, what was your experience yesterday being able to pay homage to him yesterday?
Man, just reflecting back, brother Jesse Jackson was a celebrity without celebrity. He was somebody that you could touch and talk to, and all of that. And he let the world know. You think about how powerful this dude was, and I just think that we lost maybe the number one powerful black man in the country in his passing when they were unable to get the troops out of Serbian countries and everywhere. They called Reverend Jackson and say, "Hey, man, we've exhausted all we can. We need your help." And he would go over there and be like, "Hey, I don't care about what y'all talking about. These people going home with me." And shout out to him because he let not just black people, and that's what Rainbow Push stood for. The United States was a rainbow coalition of races and things, and he let everybody know, and you heard it 1,000 times, that I am somebody. So, man, it was a real powerful thing yesterday to even be in there. I was standing next to the hearse and just was like, man, this is where he has been traveling all over the country in this actual car right here. And like I said, he was a celebrity without having celebrity. No bodyguards, no nothing. And he would walk around and he was touchable.
That's how it was when I like mid-years and different things that I would go to. You know, I would say rest in peace. I would give a shout out to those brothers of Harmony Lodge number 88, who he belonged to. He was part of my Shriner Lodge, Arabic 44. When they talk about the word larger than life, he is the epitome of that. He should have his face in there. Y'all can talk about, people can say what they want, they don't like him, but a whole lot of what we're able to do as African American people is because of him. I don't care what nobody says. I ain't gonna fight you on whether you like him or not like that. But there's nowhere in the world that you can't say that this world is not better for you because of him. He made a lot of things possible for us. You know, rest in power, Reverend. All love, man, and let's hope that we can just take your words and your message and extend it on to the next generation.
And not only to just expound real quick, what Doc said, he always talked about, keep hope alive. But I'm sorry, when he talked about I am somebody, he also had that keep hope alive, and that resonated with a lot of people, especially in the '80s. Because it was that time where, and I don't want to get political, but Reaganomics and all these things, and he just inspired us to keep hope alive. So, rest in power, Reverend Jackson. You fought the good fight.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I am somebody.
I am
Man.
somebody.
Yes, sir.
Obama is not your president. He is not the president without Jesse Jackson. I don't care what nobody says.
Hey, my most favorite thing I'd rather have Roosevelt on the horse than Reagan, whatever. I can't put a quote, but it was from the '88 campaign when he was like, I'd rather have Roosevelt in a wheelchair than Reagan on a horse. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Hey, there are three powerful speeches from Black leaders. One is Martin Luther King. Not the I Have a Dream, but the one I've been to the mountaintop.
That was his last speech.
The second one is Obama's 2004 Democratic National Convention, where he says that it's not a Black America, it's not a white America, it's just the United States of America. And then when Jesse Jackson comes out at the 1984 Democratic nomination, and when he says, I understand, man, I mean, dude, it's talking about how he grew up, his mother, his background, everything. And he says, I understand. I was watching the service. I'm down in St. Louis right now. And I was watching the service and they was playing that at the House of Hope. And it just shakes you up, man. Like you said, either you don't have to like him, but you do have to respect him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so hey, man, you know what? He would be missed. Rest in power. And hey, let's move over to the Chicago Bears, man.
He was a Bears fan
this week, man. I mean, I wrote down some notes to make sure I don't miss nothing, man. Tuesday, Drew Dalman retired. Thursday, yesterday, DJ Moore's traded to Buffalo. Then today, Tremaine Edmonds is released. Then today, Garrett, what's that? Bradbury. Is actually signed to replace Drew Dalman, and we gave up a 5th round pick for him. And we got a
2027 5th round draft pick. Just remember that 2027. So we ain't even talking about this year. We talking about 2027. So let's get it right, people. Let's get it right. So
yes, sir.
I'll take that. But I'll start this off
with DJ. I got a question to pose to you brothers. Y'all been Bears fans forever. Okay, let's look at the Doomsday. Luther Burton, Cole Kmet, and your boy Loveland. Out of every Bears team that we can think of, we're not talking about stats. We're talking about ability and stuff like that. Do you think there's any other 4, like 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers that were on a Bears team at one time that were better than them?
You know what? I would say, yeah. And it's close. I'm gonna say when you had Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Marcellus Bennett,
and
you had Matt Forte in the backfield who was catching big time catches.
He said 2 tight ends.
Yeah, 2 tight ends.
I'm sorry.
Kelvin Davis was big enough for 2 tight ends.
Kelvin Davis was a pretty good tight end with that group too. But it ain't as good as this current group.
Right.
But again, my thing is, and I'm gonna fight with Doc on this because I like to fight with Doc.
What are you talking about, man? I don't know what you're talking about.
I like to fight with Doc because we share the same goal. We just say it differently. It's almost like a marriage. You and your wife say the same thing, but y'all saying it in a different language. I understand the trade of DJ Moore. I do. Because if you guys looked at the structure of that contract, it
Yep.
was absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens when you kick the can down the road to give somebody an extension. You guarantee money that you shouldn't guarantee.
Right.
And as much DJ Moore was my favorite bear. He was my favorite bear because no matter if he didn't practice during the week, no matter what the ailment is, no matter going into the blue tent, he was coming back on the field. And I just feel like it should have been some kind of way that Poles and DJ. But then when I found out, I didn't know that Drew Rosenhaus was his agent. So I didn't know. So
Ooh,
now it really makes a
makes
lot of
sense.
sense to
Yeah.
me.
About that money.
Yeah.
It's about their money. And I just felt that if they could have reconstructed his contract this year to have him here one more year, because right now I feel the Bears are in a championship window.
Mhm.
And I just feel like I don't want to go into the season. And this is not nothing negative. It's just my feeling. I didn't want to go into the 2026 season with Luther Burden and Roma Dunze as our one and our two at wide receiver, only because the history, the injury history. You know, Burton started the year off in camp last year injured, and then you had Odunze with the foot injury where he tried to play through, and he really wasn't consistent with that. So I just felt like we needed that stud to solidify this room. Now, am I okay with it? I have to be okay with it.
Right.
But as I panned into the future, I'm still looking like, okay, now we got Jade Walker. Now he may be able to step up and be able to provide some production in a wide receiver room. But is it a big loss? Yeah. But is it a big loss? Not really.
A lot of it is situational too. I mean, think about this. One, what they look at is, first of all, we was already messed up on the cap anyway. They gave him all that money up top, and I understand it because they wanted to really get this guy, and he got us to where we are right now. So you got to give him credit. Would I have liked him to stay another year? Oh, absolutely. But I do understand it. And then the other thing you look at too, and this has no bearing on who's the better receiver, but a lot of times when they're juggling numbers, they look at what they do is they look at stats. Roma Dunze played 5 fewer games than DJ did, and he had only 21 yards less. So he's got 28.5 counting against the cap. You look at it with Jody, Rome, and Luther, all three of them count much less against the cap. So a lot of times what they do is they think about the money, and a lot of times, it's more sentimental, but I mean, I understand it. Am I happy? Not necessarily, but I mean, it's just a business. It is what it is. But I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of how they may think about it. If it was us, we'd probably find some way to see if he restructured. But then with Drew Rosenhaus, who's to say he may not want to restructure his contract?
The Bears wide receiver room right now in cap, as far as money, rates 30 out of 32 teams in the NFL. And you're talking about a number one, you talking about a first round draft pick, a second round draft pick, and an undrafted free agent. They rank number 30 in money right now. So that's a good thing. But at the same time, we latch on to players and hope that they're gonna be here for the duration. But I knew it wasn't gonna be feasible because not only was his cap hit for this year, what was it, 26.8 or 26,
28.5.
28.5? Had he been on this roster on the 13th, which is next Friday, he would have been guaranteed 13.9 million
Yeah.
of his contract in 2027.
Yeah.
So
and we
it
got
is
a whole
what it
lot of
is.
other holes to fill too, as far
We
as
got a whole lot of other holes to
got that
fill
much money.
because we don't have. Well, now the Bears have $50 million to spend as far as salary cap money now, just with the moves that they've actually made this week. The Bears are $50 million over the salary cap. But I always say, the salary cap is a farce because people navigate that stuff all the time.
Right.
They convert salaries into signing bonuses, and now all of a sudden they just freed up money. So, you know, it's salary cap is really not an issue when it comes to the NFL, just because it's so flexible for them to, finagle money around.
Let me jump in here. Um, yet again, I just gotta, sometimes I just hate being right about stuff.
Trust the process.
I just really hate being right about stuff because I was the one that was saying that if you're gonna move them, you got to move them now. You got to move him before the new NFL year. It makes no sense to really keep him for the production that he had for that price tag. Yada yada yada. I mean, go back and watch the old shows if you want to, just really get off into it. Um, I remember saying that he caught 50 balls, and out of 17 games, there's only 3 extra balls for some other people. When you really look at what DJ did, hell, you can remember all his catches, the big ones, and he has 6 touchdowns. You can remember all of them. Not saying that he wasn't worth being here as a Bear, but for that price tag,
To the price tag, right?
that was going to hurt. Like
Absolutely.
I, I'm a big DJ Moore fan too, but just you have to consider that this is a business, and if you're going to be a business, see if we get into, oh, I like him and I like him. I've always said you cannot fall in love with the
Love with
names
a
on the
player.
back of the jerseys. You can't
Absolutely.
do it. Because if you do, you be, you know, holding the pillow last night. Oh my God, God. Oh, what do we do now? Th- There are some other things that we have to do. And I've said this too. I said we're not that good yet. We got lucky on a lot of stuff, and that's not going to be something that we could carry over. We need to shore up this defense.
Hmm.
Defense win championships. All that lights and glitter and glamour stuff on offense, that's cool. But you win by stopping the other team from scoring,
Absolutely.
right? That's just what
Absolutely.
it is. You win game. You go back and look at Seattle and what their scores were against them last year, and you like, what they were supposed to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they had 3 games where somebody scored over 20 points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had three
and
games where people were putting up 40 burgers.
but also know Seattle has a unique situation. Their offense was top three as well.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
they
so
was out there playing.
that's
They
unique,
was
right?
playing bully
Because
ball with people though on defense.
yeah,
Wayne.
but
Yeah.
still that's unique, right? Because
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of good defenses with horrible offenses that don't make the playoffs, right?
yeah,
Because or they don't stay good for years because in long term, defense definitely win the Super Bowl, but you definitely got to build your
yeah.
team around having a productive offense just to have a chance to get there. But hey, I'm gonna miss DJ. I think
Yeah.
DJ is a hell of a player.
Solid.
Now, I don't know nobody was probably more critical of him all year than me, right? I mean, I would just say stuff about him all year about not hustling, not his routes not looking precise, and times that I would say his spacing looked incorrect. Even with that, I still thought he was a hell of a receiver, and I was worried about him not coming back, and not because the same reason as Jay. I was just worried about. I just saw too many drops down the thing, but I did definitely thought when they drafted Luther, to me his fate was sealed at that point because you're not
Mhm.
drafting Luther, coasting at number one, Rome the year before, and get Luther, and then you're gonna bring back that type of salary cap. And we had some games, honestly, what we won that we was complaining about Luther, and I mean not Luther, but DJ not worth the salary at that point, right? Because you had 2 or 3 games where he played and he didn't even touch the ball. So they already
And
showed that you could win in certain situations without him being playing. But you got
and the
But
thing
playing.
let
about it, go ahead, Plank.
Yeah, first thing, everybody, I want to make sure everybody subscribes to the Bears Banner
Oh
podcast.
yes,
That'll
please.
really help us out, help the algorithm, so allow us to bring more content to the show. That said, when is the last time in war somebody counted on old men to run fast? the truth of the matter is about the NFL, this is a young man's game. Yeah. So if we're talking about wide receiver, DJ Moore, he's been a good wide receiver. He's been a good player on and off the field. However, he's getting injured more and more every game. You're looking at him, it seems like he's breaking down every week. Almost, you always had the conversation: is he going to be available next week? I know he's banged up. I know he's hurt. So if nothing else, the team got a lot younger. This is only the second year that we're going to be in Ben Johnson's offense. So who knows what nuances that he's able to put in. And the other thing that I wanted to make sure I mention is DJ Moore was looked at as something of a malcontent. So a lot of times people would say his body language was that he wasn't running, it wasn't given 100%. I don't think that's true all the time. Right. But right now we still got a new regime, new coach. Everybody has the message. If you don't get out there and give 100%, this could be you next year. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking when we're putting all of that stuff together, the circle of life continues to progress, and we got to get ready for next year's Bears team. There's no continuity from one year to the next year. You're gonna always have different players in a different team.
You guys gotta mute me, man, because it's like every time I say somebody leaving, they be up out of here. They be gone. It's just the logical thinking of it, man.
But you also got to understand quick that you played the game at a level that none of us have ever even fathomed experiences. So there are things that you see, and it's just certain little signs that you see that we wouldn't see. So I never say I disagree. A lot of times I will listen to see what you got to say. So far, trust the process been right. Talked about DJ was right. You talk about Tremaine Edmonds too. And,
he got to go too. I said he had to go. Roquan, Khalil Mack, and I'm going back to witness protection. Everybody they pointing fingers at me on it. I'm like, man.
We got you, man.
Hey, quick. The thing is, you're just being real with when you say things like that, and people may not agree, or maybe the fandom in us might not agree. But that doesn't mean what you're saying is not valid or true, right? You hit all those on the head. And I think what happened is best as Bears fan, if DJ does well, which we expect in Buffalo, man, it's great for him. One thing I have to give credit to Poles for. Poles did not do like the Vikings did to Randy Moss when they traded him to the Raiders. Poles had traded all those guys that you mentioned to opportunities to play. He traded Justin Fields to Buffalo, not Buffalo, to the Steelers. That's up to him to take advantage of that opportunity. He traded Khalil Mack to the Chargers, right? He'd have been to the playoffs a few times with the Chargers. He traded Roquan Smith to the Ravens. So he has, and he traded DJ to Buffalo. So he's traded guys to places where they could shine and get that opportunity to expand their career, whatever. And I will say from watching football, playing football, sometimes players don't fit what you're trying to do, which doesn't mean they're going to do bad. They're a bad player. You may be putting them in a better situation. The Bears run a very precise offense right now. Previously, their offense, they ran a lot of go routes. Let me say, for example, with Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. He hit DJ on a lot of go routes and a lot of screens. That's pretty much what their offense was, screens and go routes. This offense is totally different. This offense is be here, we get you open, run this route, anticipation, you should be there. Some guys just don't fit that, right? And you need time with the quarterback. And I know Antoine Randall L mentioned after the season, he had called DJ, like, this ain't no dump on DJ. I'm just saying some little hints. And they asked him about DJ, but he said it in a positive way, but there's actually some negative in that. He said, I called DJ because I was wanting him to look at this tape, and DJ was like, hey, man, I'm at home with my family. That's a positive. But the negative is the people who have time, young quarterbacks want to work with the players, right? And you got those young guys who are going to put in time. Rome is going to stay out the practice. Colston going to stay out the practice. Jade Walker's going to stay out the practice. Unfortunately, with him being an older guy, he got a family, He's like, man, I'm gone.
$28 million. You need to be available then.
Man, I'm saying.
Correct.
But you didn't get that. Hey, but you didn't get that $28 million without putting that work in, though. So
That's true.
Correct.
But you know what? Have you guys ever seen it?
so I have to, I have to say that. But what I want to say is that, Ben Johnson came to this team, and because he came to this team, he came and played and designed his offense on what he had in the building.
Yep. Right there.
Because this whole thing is like, okay, this is what I'm coming into. I got to work with this year one. Year two, I'm going to be able to move some stuff around because I see something different. This guy, as much as I'm going to try to incorporate him as coming out the backfield as a running back, him making, me splitting him out at the X and him making these big plays, which the big plays he did make. But because now I'm in year two and I got a full reign of what I need to work with, I get a chance to put this in place, this don't fit, this don't fit. It's like Uno, it's like draw four. Nope, I'm gonna draw four, but it ain't finna be these four that I want. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, like I said, as much as I love DJ, I understand it. But it is what it is. And I'm that. I trust the process.
Two things.
I
One,
trust the process.
have you guys seen a franchise that actually gave guys a seat at Roquan? You had DJ. It's like all these players, usually when these teams trade these guys off to the marquee players, so to speak, they'll never send them to a rival. They'll never send them to a good team. They'll just send them somewhere and just hope that they die or something like that. And it's like interesting that he's able to kind of put that personal side, even if it's a personal thing aside, and he wants to see them win and put them in good situations. I long for that. I give him all the kudos in the world. But as far as the team is concerned, that whole squad got a chance to smell the NFC Championship. They got a chance to smell it. So you take the playbook that they got, plus a couple little nuances they got in that too, man, it could be a different story. I mean, we may or may not win as many games, but I will probably be more than certain that we probably won't be in the situation that we were like last year.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go on record and say, that Jade Walker is going to be the biggest beneficiary of this trade.
Absolutely.
Sure
Absolutely.
is.
Now,
Absolutely.
Bears fan, Bears America, Midway Country, or whatever you want to call yourself. I got to go back to the Jesse Jackson part of this and say, I understand. This is not about DJ Moore and that last pass from Caleb. I understand. I understand that how the production in that room, that wide receiver room, getting better with those last couple picks. I understand. I understand that what's going on, that we had a really bad contract situation going on with DJ Moore. And I said that if DJ doesn't renegotiate his contract, he won't be here. I understand. Let's not take for 1 second and say that DJ Moore's playing ability is what got him out of Chicago. That's not true.
It's not.
Right.
That is not true.
It's
And
not.
I don't want anybody to really look at that and say, well, they got rid of him because of that last pass. That is not true.
That is not
The
the case.
organization had to do what was best for the organization.
Right.
And they did what was best for DJ in doing their decision for the. You can't send anybody to a better situation than what you did with DJ Moore.
Right.
Buffalo has no receivers. They have nothing.
And
they sent this man over there to be number one.
And the fact that Poles got a second-round draft pick.
He stole
me.
Fleece.
I was at work. And everybody was talking about DJ. I'm like, okay, what was the compensation? So I was looking like, oh man, they didn't gave up DJ for like a 4th round or a 5th round pick. When that thing came back and said 2nd round, ding, ding, ding. That's a win. So right now, the Bears have 3 picks in the top 60. They have 3 picks in the first top 60. I like that.
I tell you what, DJ Moore had to be all-time fleecing, probably second to Herschel Walker in that trade.
Oh my God,
Sometimes.
yes.
When DJ Moore came into the Bears fleeced Carolina.
Carolina, exactly.
They got the core of the players that are making up this squad now. And then when DJ Moore's leaving, Poe still he fleeced the Bills by getting that second round draft choice for a 29-year-old player. That's not something that normally happens. So hats off to Ryan Poles. We don't give him a lot of love a lot of time, but he's cooking pretty well this time.
Well, we can start counting that trade. Depends on who they get with that second round pick. That'd be part of the Carolina deal as well, right?
Look, I mean, you got DJ in here basically for a number one pick. He was thrown into a number one pick. It was like he had no value at that particular time. Now, 3 years later, you able to finesse that for a second round pick?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
Hey, Christian, listen to me. You be on Poe's ass. That man be cooking.
Look, first of all, not to kind of swift gears and go away from the DJ thing. Yesterday, you trade DJ. Today, you get Garrett Bradbury as a center. And I was telling you guys, 642 snaps, zero sacks. Played all the games and played in the Super Bowl last year. So
yeah, one penalty.
What they want to say about Poles, but since this dude walked in the door, whether players worked out or not, that's really not on him. Most of the time when we would need players, like, man, we need a linebacker. The Bears select kicker John Smith. You know, Poles is like, okay, we need a left tackle, boom. We need a linebacker, boom. We need this, boom. He's gotten the guys, and then he drafts 3 guys that end up being starters, basically.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
hey, quick, that's an excellent point, because when you do a multiple deal with 2 first-round picks, and I think it was a second or whatever it is, they got the player that's involved in those multiple picks like that is usually just a throw-in. That's just usually a throw-in. It's not a number one receiver. It's just a throw-in guy. So that's an excellent point that that deal got them a number one receiver with a bunch of picks. But hey, with Bradbury, is it Bradbury? Bradbury.
Yeah.
Bradbury. You know what? I wanted to point this out because I saw a couple of people saying this on social media about the protection issues with the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Now, gas stat is very important about the 642 snaps without a sack, because just a year ago, people were having the same conversation last year because they were looking at the game from a broad point of view and not the individual play. We watched Patrick Mahomes get sacked a bunch of times against the Eagles, and there were people who was on social media said, I don't want any of those linemen from the KC,
Chiefs.
But that's what Tony came from. Tony came from that particular line, but it was like people were looking at his individual play. They were just looking at the fact that the line was allowing Patrick Mahomes to be sacked. So that number that you mentioned, guy, is very important because you're giving his individual performance. And Jay just mentioned about not even one penalty, or what you said, 0 penalties.
Yeah, one penalty all season, and it was in the Super Bowl. So you talk about a player that played 17 weeks and then had that one penalty, the biggest game of his career, unfortunately. It was a Super Bowl. But that just tells you what it is. He ranked 15th at PFF, I believe, overall as a center. So I feel like it's a drop-off from Drew Dahlman, but at the same time, I feel like it may be a stopgap because I do feel like the Bears will probably wind up drafting a center in the draft. I wanted them to get the kid from Iowa who played in Baltimore the last few years, Lindenbraw. But I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the money as well. Bradbury is 30 years old. He played in the NFC North with the Vikings, who drafted him. So He's familiar with the division. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. I think they said it's probably going to be somewhere $9 million over the next couple of years.
Mhm.
So it gives you a chance to draft possibly a center and get
Mhm.
him going. So when Bradbury is phased out, you got somebody in house. And don't forget about we got Luke Newsom. I think that's his name, Luke Newsom,
Mhm.
who's
Mhm.
already on the squad. So it helps. It
Oh,
helps.
Newman,
They
Luke
didn't
Newman. Yep.
Newman. So but they didn't go out and take that draft. They didn't go out and take that cap space that they created over the next couple of over the last few days to bring in a big time center.
That's why this move is
Oh,
sneaky
you know what?
good by Ryan Poles.
It's
If
very
you
sneaky.
think about it, if you
Yes,
Very
try
right.
to
sneaky.
bring Tyler Linderbaum in, he's a better center, graded out a little bit better, but he's looking for 25 million a year. So if you end up getting that center, that takes you out of play for any additional guys that are coming up. Max Crosby, I'm just saying that name out there
Nah.
because we're trying to get whether we get Max Crosby or we get another secondary rush guy, we're gonna
Yeah,
have to have somebody out there uh, that is commensurate with what Sweat gives us. So
yeah.
we just got out of salary cap hell, so now we have a little bit of breathing room. So at least we can actually pull some additional moves.
I got a caveat too. Something I
Caveat.
found out today. Remember the whole Ian Cunningham saga where he goes to Atlanta. We're supposed to get a pick and they reneged on it.
Yep.
Well, there's supposed to be some type of arbitration. I want to say starting either between the 10th and the 15th. And normally what happens is when they send the guy off, they're supposed to get a pick, but the Atlanta kind of reneged on it. Their rumblings are saying that we might end up getting that pick.
And,
So
and, and and it's
nobody
not
could
just
think.
one. And it's not
Those are
just one.
two
It's two.
picks.
Yeah,
It's two.
It's actually two.
like by the
It's
15th or
actually
whatever, we'll
two.
know what we got or if we get something.
If we don't get it, what's the point of the rule to begin with?
Right.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, she made a statement in a press conference about a week and a half ago. That's not going to help their case because he actually said I thought the Bears was going to get the picks, right? So he actually indicated one of the decisions that he made was he thought that this would be the Bears would get this pick. So I'm sure in the arbitration they're gonna call him up or replay that statement that this also probably
Mhm.
why the Bears allowed him an interview and also why he took the job. And now they're trying to renege on it. But I think it's all working out for the Bears. The Tremaine Evans situation. Do anybody think they're going to re-sign him if nobody pick him up, or he's just a done deal?
I
Not
just,
at 17. I'm sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
just a I'm just a big advocate of teams not telling players, you know what, we're gonna give you permission to go ahead and seek a trade.
Yeah. Well.
Because guess what? That's telling the entire league that if you don't get a trade, we're gonna release you anyway.
Mhm.
So who
Yeah.
is gonna trade for you
Nobody.
when somebody feels like okay, they gave him permission to seek a trade. If he don't find a trade partner, they're gonna release him. So why am I gonna give up draft compensation to the Bears when I know y'all gonna release the player anyway? And I think what's gonna happen, he's probably gonna wind up going to the Raiders or the Giants, who who actually showed interest, but at the same time, they was like, okay, if we don't trade for him, the Bears probably gonna release him anyway.
Yep.
And
Well,
and he
the
had a pretty big cap. He had a what 17.5 million cap hit, I think, this year. So, but as Tremaine Edwards is one of those players that had, as to use your word, playing. He had sneaky production. Because if you look at it, you know how Tremaine Edwards but if you look at the numbers, if you look at his numbers for the 3 years that he was here, they were pretty darn good. They were pretty darn good.
Except in pass coverage.
Well,
Well,
as a linebacker, you're always tackling people 10 yards down the field. You still get credit for a tackle, but is it being effective? So we have to kind of look at that as well.
And he did, and he did have 4 picks. He did have 4 picks. He did have 4 picks last
He
season.
did. He did.
He did have 4 picks.
Mhm.
So I mean, you know, but the bottom line is, and this is getting off into a whole nother thing. You know, linebackers in the NFL right now, they almost like running backs. They kind of like not really seen as a valued position because right now everybody's playing nickel and dime because all these offenses are doing, you know, 3 wides and, you know, 13 personnel, 12 personnel, where linebackers are not
Mhm.
really even a thing anymore. I mean, we're not talking about the Singletary era where you had stable middle linebackers. So, you know, the linebackers are devalued in the NFL right now. So I'm not surprised that wasn't nobody going to trade. You know, nobody offered the Bears to trade for him just because it's not a value position anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because unless you're one of those pass rushing linebackers, you know, that your value is not that high. Would you have
yeah, but
played?
it made sense to actually tell him that he can go ahead and try to make a deal for himself because then you take yourself out of this whole bidding war. Somebody could get him for a 6th-round draft choice. So that was a lot easier versus him going out there on the market. And now he's able to set his own numbers based on all of the teams that might have that need at linebacker. So it was smart, the Bears trying to get that. So if they could have got a 6th-round choice, they say, we got a brand
Oh,
new starting linebacker without having to compete for him. But because he also wanted that 17 million, that probably took a lot of teams out of the conversation.
Hey,
Yeah.
Paul had something. Paul Martin said something interesting. He said the league assigns the picks. It will be a 3rd and 26 and a 3rd and 27. We won't talk about how bad Poles is drafting the 3rd round.
Stop. Give him some flowers right now. Give me a break. Jeez.
But
What we
the intel was good.
also,
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
those third
talk
round
about
picks, though.
linebackers and everything else. What we need to talk about currently, the Bears
Those
have
third
no
round
safety.
picks, though. Those
They
third
have
round picks,
zero
Vegas
safety.
Jones.
So I think
Vegas
they're going to come
Jones.
back with
yeah.
Kevin Byard. They're going to offer him some.
Mhm.
And I like this guy, Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo. That young man can play. I don't think they're going to get the guy from Oregon that
He ain't gonna be there. He
the
ain't gonna
guy
be
was
there.
talking about because
He
he
gonna be
won the
gone.
underwear Olympics, as Jay likes to say. This dude balled out. So we'll see if the Bears can get a decent safety out of this draft.
He jumped from like top 50. They said, "Oh, he's pretty good," but you know he's going to be top 50. They ran that 4.38, and he was like, "Pew!"
And they said, and he's a white boy? Really?
"Yeah, yeah." He
He's
attacked
pretty
the
fly
shit.
for a white guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that boy is fast.
I think that's what's lost in some of this. I know when you know fans when the emotions kind of set in, that the Bears definitely want to sign Buyer. They made that clear, and Buyer made it clear. So some of the money you need to free up was to offer him a contract. I believe the Bears are going to let Briscoe walk. I believe he's going to walk.
I heard
I'm
today.
trying to
I
think.
heard today.
What
I'm
you
sorry to cut you off.
you heard
I
something?
heard
What you hear, Jay?
today. I heard today. It's some rumblings going on that they call him Quani in the reporter that talked about this. It's like his name is Jaquan. I don't want to call him Quani, but it's rumblings talking about the Bears may be trying to bring Jaquan Brisker back as well as Kevin Byard.
Wow.
So
Briscoe had one good game the whole year. He had
so
terrible pass defense numbers. So everybody's looking at the one.
His numbers weren't that bad. His pass defense numbers weren't that
Hey
bad.
man, all I know is defense gets an A. That's all I know.
Hey, Jay,
So
maybe you got something there because his name has been quiet all week. I
those are,
haven't heard anything.
You know what?
and I actually just heard that today on my way home from work. I heard that today. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, maybe they might try to run it back. Now I don't because the Rams re-signed Curl, the safety Curl, who people were saying that, oh, he'll be a good fit for the Bears. He's off the market now.
He's safety.
He's off the market now because the Rams re-signed him to a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Yeah.
So he's off the market. So it's some rumblings that this reporter was talking about that Quani Kwani may be back with the Bears this year. So next season. So,
Concussion, Kwani.
hey, he didn't have one last year.
Look, they were talking about Cameron Curl from the Rams.
Yeah.
It said they tried to, let's see, they made a blockbuster trade to land all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, and they won't be able to afford everybody in the defensive secondary. So we're facing a big need at the safety position, and they say it will be quite a big get. But since they're signing these guys, a lot of these guys are kind of looking at them and they're kind of comparing themselves and what they want. I think the market's going to be interesting. But one question I do have for Bernard, since you're the accountant, I know you may not be as versed as far as how all the rules and regulations is cap space, all this other stuff. But as an accountant, what do you look at? Like in a situation like this, how do you like meticulate as far as moving money around to get guys like say back end stuff or incentives? How does that work?
Right. So in my world, we call it accruals, right? We may accrue expense in this year because we don't want it to affect the following year, or we accrue expense at the end of the year that's going to be, or we may move. Right. That's basically all that's happening from like an accounting point of view. You're just as where are you recording this at, and so like what Jay mentioned, like taking money and converting it to bonus money. And what I always recommend, I believe the site is pronounced Spot Track. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I would suggest if you really want to like keep up with salary caps and all that, go to that website. Matter of fact, you can actually recommend trades or release on players, and it'll tell you what the salary cap and dead cap implications are. So it's a really good site to become versed on that. Because matter of fact, I just saw a story today. I know it's off topic, but it's on topic as far as salary. The Cleveland Browns are going to convert some of Deshaun Watson because he has an $80 million. Yeah, so they're gonna convert this year. Right, they're gonna convert part of it to, I think it's like 30-something million.
It's gonna be $38 million. 38 million. They're gonna gain $38 million on their salary cap by restructuring his contract. So yeah, don't count Deshaun Watson out yet. It's Basadas and all.
Deshaun Watson would be looking for a job. I don't care how much money I would have lost. He'd be looking for a job, and I ain't even talking about in the NFL. He'd be at Streets of Sand trying to fill out an application. Messing with me. Even when he wasn't hurt, his past couple years have been trash, right?
Well,
so for that amount of money, you talking about getting tricked with the banana in the tailpipe.
Well, that's what happened when a franchise such as the Cleveland Browns do what they did. Desperate to get a winner, and you guarantee this dude an entire $230 million.
Right.
This is what happens.
He's the only player in NFL right now in NFL history that has 100% guaranteed contract.
Fully guaranteed.
No other player has 100% fully guaranteed contract.
Hey, wait, let me ask you a question, Nutty. Is that a happy ending?
No,
at least 40% off.
Is happy for him?
At least 40% off.
He like going to massage parlors. That might be a happy ending.
But no, that's the state of the art in quarterbacks in current day NFL. So we talking about how bad Watson was. Let me throw some other names out. Kirk Cousins, he made $40 million a year. Horrible. Tua, he made that.
Tua, man, put the right name on there.
Trevor Lawrence also ends up getting $45 million. So that's
the difference is, his contract was fully guaranteed. Tua may have signed a $230 million contract, but maybe only 175 was guaranteed.
Right.
This dude signed
garbage.
You pay for the market. You pay
Trevor
for the market.
Lawrence is in the playoffs, so we got to take him out of there. Trevor Lawrence has been in the playoffs twice.
You pay for the market.
Yeah.
So, this dude had all $230 million guaranteed. That's unprecedented. That's unprecedented. So it's going to be interesting to see because now we got the new quarterbacks that's coming up, and they was talking about it today on NFL radio. How is Caleb Williams going to be the first quarterback to get a contract extension after his third season in the NFL? That's they talking about not even going into the fifth year option. They saying, will Caleb Williams be the first quarterback in NFL history to get a contract after his first 3 years in the NFL?
I mean, you wouldn't re-sign him right now? I mean, for an extension?
Yes, I would because again, because it's the NFL, you have to look at it. You make him the highest paid quarterback now because guess what? The quarterback behind him is going to be the next highest paid quarterback. That's how this goes. It's what
You
it is.
you either pay him
It's what
now,
it is.
you pay him now, or pay him more later.
You pay him now or you pay him more
Yep.
later. Because whoever signs the contract today, the
Set in the
next
market.
person,
Yeah.
they set in the market. So the next
Yeah.
person, whether it's 2 million, whether it's $1.5 million, they gonna be the highest paid. So I mean, that's just what the league is right now.
Hey,
Who's the
let's
winner?
go back for a second, man. How do you make this contract with Deshaun Watson? And that was after being suspended a year. You know what I'm saying? Hadn't even played. Oh, how do you even make a contract like that?
It's
You
the
got
franchise, dog.
one stupid mofo
It's the
joke.
franchise. It's the franchise.
That's just terrible,
It's
though.
the franchise.
Because
It's the franchise.
the Houston made the contract like that, and then Cleveland took them. So which
No,
one
no,
is
no, no, no,
worse?
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
no, no.
He even got out of his contract. I mean,
Houston
Houston.
traded him. Houston
Yeah.
traded him with I think it was a year left on his contract, and
He left on his contract.
because most of these guys when they come in, they like, okay, you trade me, but I want a new contract. So they was like, okay, we're gonna make this trade, and then we're gonna give you a contract extension. And that's what happened. Cleveland gave him this
Yeah,
230
that was Cleveland.
million guaranteed contract.
After him not playing an entire year for being suspended.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Like,
And guess who? Guess who? Out of
Man, you
all
know what?
the old
This was
quarterback
this was so. Oh, I'm sorry, guy. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, bro.
Oh man, this contract was so favorable for him that in his first year, I want to say they only had to pay him $1 million, which that was the year that he was suspended. So actually, he was getting money from Houston, but most of his contract kicked in for Cleveland his second year.
His second year.
So Cleveland even made it so much favorable for him that I see somebody asking about Cosby. What was anybody want to talk about that, or y'all want to skip over that?
They
Or?
want 2 first-round draft picks.
no, we're not getting Max Crosby.
The Ravens?
Yeah, unless
They-
or Philly. Yeah, they want 2. He want 2 first, and
2 ones, dog. We can't do that.
wants to come, but I don't think Poe's gonna come off that at all.
We can't do that. We can't do that. That's the Khalil Mack trade all over again.
Yeah,
We can't
it
do that.
is.
I still say, you try to sign Trey Hendrickson in free
Yeah.
agency.
I agree.
He's 2 years older, I believe, than Max Crosby. But if you look at the production,
Yep.
I looked at it yesterday. I literally screenshotted it and put it up on my phone side to side. Like, okay, what's the production?
Almost the same.
If you, it's almost the same. People like Max Crosby because he got that motor running, and he all that bravado. That doesn't do it for me. I need production. And in 2023 and 2024, Max Crosby had 17 and a half sacks both of those years. So we talking about, what's that, 38? Let me do my math real quick. 17
and a half, it's 35.
17. He had 35 sacks in 2 seasons, along with the sacks that he had last year until he got hurt. I say you can probably bring him in without giving up draft capital and paying him a little bit less because the 31-year-old Trey Hendrickson is not going to command 30, $35 million a year.
Oh, he just
We
saw
talking,
Max Crosby to the Ravens.
we
You know what?
talking,
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying it's a done deal.
That's a done deal. And Hendricks, you know what? Henderson, he that guy that had that busted up tans and that busted lunchbox and come to work every day. Don't say nothing, just come in and grind. That's the guy we want. But I was going to say some kind of backtrack in a second. You know what quarterback that's in the league right now sitting down and don't start, got a clipboard and just rubbing his hands together, knowing somewhere or another sooner or later will really get paid?
oh, there it is. I'm sorry, y'all. There it is. The Raiders agreed to trade 5-time Pro Bowler defensive end Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for a 2026 and a 2027 first-round pick. The trade cannot be processed until next week, but it is in place, and Crosby is expected to be a Raven with 2 first-round picks going to
That's
the
okay.
Raiders.
But
Yeah. I think that's what Daniel was trying to say. I was trying to piece it together, but I think
Thanks, man.
Okay, thank you, Daniel.
So he
Thank
got
you, Daniel.
Max
We appreciate
Crosby.
it.
This, man.
You got roving reporters.
I
working.
love this.
Look at that.
Hey, thanks for the information, Daniel, and
Thanks,
thanks.
man.
Who's the other one? Butterfly. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, for
You like
clarifying that.
As I
butterfly.
was saying, I know this is a blockbuster, but the one guy got to be sitting up right now is in one of the best positions ever is Tyson Bagent. He gonna sit up with a clipboard. He's backup quarterback, and it's a gang of teams that need a starting quarterback willing to throw the bag, but the Bears like, But if this contract ever come up,
Not
and
a
he's still
starting quarterback though.
yeah, but still, he
He's
got
one of
job security.
Hey man,
Are you glitching? Look like Plank glitching. Are you
He in the
you look
Matrix.
like Plank glitching?
It's Friday the
Yeah.
13th.
Like you glitching.
It's Friday the
You
13th.
traded to the Steelers, man.
Hey, I mean, Beja is like the ugly girl. I mean, you don't do until the fine chick come by, but I mean, he not no NFL starting quarterback.
And I'll just say because I was arguing with some people today. They were saying the Bears should just trade Tyson Bagent.
No.
No. You know what I said? If I was an NFL owner and I had a GM that traded for Tyson Bagent and gave up a draft pick for a player that was a undrafted free agent, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was a 5th pick. I would probably do it for maybe a 7th round draft pick. I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll take that 7th.
Hey, say what you want, quick, but for some
come
dudes,
on.
after the ugly girl after some hit, she probably Halle Berry.
And the
Yeah,
thing
but
about
then you
it,
gotta wake up tomorrow.
That's why my take on it.
We all got regrets. Just some of them more than others.
that's why my thing is, why do you want to trade your backup quarterback? You need a backup, and he's a solid backup quarterback.
Ben Johnson said he doesn't want to trade.
He don't want to trade him because if
Right.
Caleb happened, Lord willing, if Caleb happened to get hurt and miss 2 games, you have a solid backup quarterback that can step in and potentially win you some games.
True. You know what my point was? My point was this. It wasn't about whether we trade him or not. It's just the fact from his standpoint. He holding the clipboard. You talking about job security right now? That dude, I mean, just the fact that people are kind of just giving, hey, man, you know, what about Tyson Bagent? He's sitting there with a clipboard, and he got his contract with last year before last.
Last year.
He's
still making $5 million.
Job security is in the NFL is a big deal, though, man.
This dude is making $5 million.
That's why
I'm quarterback.
I think I'm like quick. I don't think he's a starting quarterback.
No, he's not.
With that said, if somebody is calling me saying they want to give him a starting job, you got to give me a 2 or 3, one or the other, because a 4th round pick is not a starting quarterback.
Exactly.
No,
okay. Now, and I'm with Jay. If somebody's willing to, I probably as a GM be mad, right? You gonna give up a 2nd round, 3rd. But I'm saying as me as if a team is willing, I would give them up because a 2nd round pick is a day 1 starter. I'm not going to not get a day one starter for and just to have a backup. I can
Right.
get some more backups if I have to, but I don't know if any teams. I don't think he's
I do.
valued at no 2
I know
or 3,
one team
right?
that right now he'd be very valuable. Jets.
And that's sad.
The
And that's
Jets.
so
He
sad.
just
And that's so
started.
sad.
He got traded right
And that's
now.
so sad. And
No,
that's
but
so sad.
seriously, but seriously speaking, man, look, I know we run out of time, but the question is, this draft is coming up. What position should we really be concentrating on as far as the draft is concerned, especially like those first 2 picks?
I feel like because we have 2 picks in the second round now, I want to know if we can trade up in the first round to possibly get the defensive end in waiting, especially if we don't sign nobody, in waiting that we could get in the jump into the first round and get a defensive end.
Who's in there that's worth it though?
Well, they say, and I still haven't did the homework yet, but they say it's anywhere between 10 and 13 edge rushers that's going to go in the first round this year.
Okay.
And I'm saying in the first round, anywhere between 10 and 13. So
we don't have to move up.
Right.
But
if it's that many in the first round,
I understand that. But I want the best. If I can get to the second best or the third best, I'll take that.
I'm saying we got 7 draft picks right now.
We got
I ain't trying to give up no draft capital.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because really right now, I mean, you're still in the reconstruction phases of this team. And I don't know what the hell Plank doing. But,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I'm watching an episode of Poltergeist. But
also another rumor I want to have that I've heard is that Kevion Thibodeau, who's the pass rusher for the New York Giants, is possibly on the trade block.
Did he have like 140 doggone tackles or something last year?
Yeah, but him and Harbaugh, who's going to be their new coach, kind of like, from what I'm hearing, just the rumor mill, ain't jiving already. So
yeah, Harbaugh only been there 3 days.
Right. That's an edge rusher. That a young edge rusher.
140 some tackles too.
She might. So keep y'all ears and eyes out for that one too.
I was looking at
that. But listen, you got to know why he got 140 something tackles.
Because
that's because the defense was always on the field.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, let's look at that now. You got to look at the average and all that.
Yeah.
I think for where we are right now, what's our pick? 24, 25?
25.
And then 58,
I think,
60.
and you said it's 10?
25, 57, and 60.
But you said there's 10 first round edge rushers. I think we can get one in that top 25.
So they saying. I can't, like I said, I haven't did my homework yet. But from what they saying from the Underwear Olympics last week, they saying anywhere between 10 and 13 pass rushers are going to be in the first round.
Wow.
Oh, shit. We need another. We need a linebacker.
We need a lot. We need a linebacker. We need safeties. We need a defensive tackle.
We need a defensive tackle.
Yeah,
we need a left tackle. We need a left tackle. The kid from Detroit who requested his release, could that be a stopgap until?
Oh yeah, the left tackle.
Yeah.
Can that be a stopgap? So Poe's got some.
Might not even be a stopgap. Might be a permanent. You know.
Yeah. Well, he's a 10-year veteran though. So I mean, he long in the tooth. He ain't
stability.
You know,
this is what I'm saying. When you get to, unless you're the New England Patriots, right? You got that window of this right here, of where you could get in there and get to the Super Bowl and potentially try to win it. Doesn't mean you're gonna win it, but you got a short window, and we're phasing into that window now, right? So I mean, 10-year veteran is somebody that we should be looking at because we don't need him for year 15. We got right
Right.
here, this right here. We don't need him for year 15. He ain't gonna help us then. We've been
Uh,
and moved on to the next guy by then.
yeah.
You
Well, like I
know,
said, a stopgap until Ozzy Trapillo get back. I would be okay
that's
with that
if Ozzy comes back, and I think Ozzy may be done this year. Uh, Playing
because he
this
won't
year,
be ready. Yeah, he won't be ready till November. So
and that's if he's ready. Ready.
and
You know
that's
what I'm
if he
saying?
ready, ready. Yeah, yeah.
Because he's
Yeah,
got
So
to
he
go through
needs
the
to.
get out there. Then he got to go through the movement. Then he got to go
so
through
do you
contact. Then he,
so do you sign so do you try to sign this guy or do you bring back Martin's boy Braxton to hold
Braxton
that spot
Jones.
until
it.
until Trapillo get ready.
I think you got
So
to make a realistic look at the roster when you put everything together with your draft picks
hmm
and all that. See who you
hmm
can get, who's going to be available. Because they got lucky last year because the guys that they wanted was still there on the board, and they
right,
got almost everybody that they wanted. That don't happen all the time. For
right,
somebody
right.
swoop in and be like, "No, give me him." You be like,
Mhm.
that was my pick, right? Now you got
Yeah.
to go scramble get some more. But if you look at your roster, see who you are and see if you have a realistic shot at going where you want to go. I don't know.
Mhm.
I was thinking that Braxton Jones was a potential stop, and instead of going to spending like a whole lot of
Spend a
money on
lot of
something
money.
right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
He's familiar with the, Canada system and all that. You're not gonna spend a lot of money on him. If you think Ozzy can come back later in the year and potentially next year, then you don't go out. You get a 1 year rental player, but you gotta make a realistic look at your roster and be real with yourself and say, we
Mhm.
got a shot, right? And be like, you gotta know where your weaknesses are. You make an evaluation, SWOT analysis. Those that know, I got my doctor of management and organizational development and change. You make a SWOT analysis, my strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Then you go, and then you have to make sure that all of it's in there. You got to do it. You know,
Yes, sir.
But I don't really know. I think you may have to take a chance on a Braxton Jones to
Well, the last
for 1 year contract.
well, the
Hey,
last
Taylor
thing
hey,
I'm gonna
Deckard's
say,
available as well.
that's
who's
what we
that?
talking about.
Okay.
That's what we
Yeah,
talking about. But the
okay.
last thing I'm gonna
Hey,
say,
quick today.
on this
Oh, I'm
show,
sorry.
real quick, is I'm so glad Max Crosby got traded, and we ain't got to talk about it. I'm I'm so glad because as much as I like Max Crosby, I didn't want to give up the conversation.
I didn't
So
either.
I
I
didn't want
I'm
agree.
him to
so
go to
glad.
Detroit or nowhere like that.
Right.
Exactly,
Right.
I
Hey,
was
got
like,
exactly.
oh,
Baltimore,
come
we
on.
Yeah,
good.
Baltimore.
It's like, whew.
Good riddance. Big deal. So
That
yeah.
was
So
tough, man.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it ain't even got to be a talk no more. Like they got to get Max Crosby. Nope, no, we don't. So I'm good. I'm good with that.
Hey,
So
Well,
quick,
y'all
quick. It
actually
wasn't
have the
until
draft
today.
then.
It wasn't until today that I actually started thinking that the Bears may have to offer Braxton Jones a 1 year deal. If they don't do that with the guy with Detroit, and just for the same reason that you said, that you may have to look at that and say, okay, can he give me something through a few games, a combination of him and some other guys, even if he end up being a depth piece, I don't know. But I'm
Always
with you,
just
Jay.
exactly.
Much as I wanted Max Crosby, I didn't want. Look, we've just watched the Bears do that too many years in a row. You did it with
mhm.
Mitch, you gave up multiple first round picks. It set you back. You turn around and did it again with Khalil Mack, and then you turn around and did it again with Justin Fields.
Right.
Giving up multiple first round picks do not help your team grow unless you're just that one player away. If you're not that one player away, it set your team back for multiple years because your team is not getting the value out of the draft because you end up drafting your first picks out in the third round, fourth round, and stuff like that. And I do think the Bears do need a defensive tackle. They got to do it somewhere because Andrew Billings played himself out of Chicago last year. He got so fat that he
Played
just
itself, ate itself. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
just
beat
got
other
slow.
players too.
Yeah,
That
he got
mug was at
slow.
the donut. He was at the donut table at
Yeah,
every man. Like, God, dog.
he definitely ate his way.
Oh boy.
He definitely ate his way out of his uniform for
He looked
sure.
bad in his uniform,
I
man.
was on Google Maps and I saw him in the
Yeah.
front yard without even zooming in.
Dog. He's yeah. I was so ready to get rid of him last year. I was like, you just cut him mid-season. But we're going back to we're going back to Braxton Jones for 1 second. I've always said that Braxton Jones is serviceable, but not Super Bowlable.
Yeah.
He's serviceable, but not Super Bowlable. You
And
can plug and play Braxton Jones in that spot and get away with it for a while. You know, until if you think Ozzy's gonna come back, or you say, hey, we're gonna have to make a run at it this year, and if you're not trying to give up a lot, you got that guy there that you could actually not pay a whole lot of money to and focus on some other parts.
and not only that, you always need a swing tackle. You always need a swing tackle on your offensive line. So that wouldn't be a bad idea. But I really want them to take a look at this kid from Detroit, just because the familiarity with Ben Johnson's offense, and he's been the starting left tackle. So if you gonna make, like you say, Doc, if you finna get in that Super Bowl window, you need to try to do everything you can to
What's
put the
that?
pieces in place to try to
Yeah,
make that run.
yeah, but this what I told Chin. Braxton Jones has enough film under his belt
Uh-huh.
to be an NFL starter at
Hmm.
another franchise. So
Hmm.
if I'm him, I'm thinking selfishly and saying, let me go see what's out here real quick. Maybe I can get a contract from somebody to be a starter again in the league to make some serviceable money, right? Now, if the Bears be like, the Bears have to be honest with them and say, hey, man, we only getting you for this one. Well, no, I'm out. I don't want to do that.
I'm out. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but
So,
the other thing is he might have had an opportunity over this last year while he was injured to work on the things that he was deficient at. So,
nah, he had too much, bro. He had too much.
well, his major issue
yeah,
was he had no anchor.
he had no
So,
strength. He was not strong as a left tackle. He looked like the boy from Will Campbell almost.
Oh
Will
man.
Campbell had
ow,
that.
ow. Okay.
Yeah, Braxton Jones just doesn't look strong enough for me at left
Yeah.
tackle. Like,
Hey,
I don't
guess what?
know.
At least Will
Yeah.
Campbell had the excuse that his he played the Super Bowl coming off a broken ACL or something.
Yeah.
He actually had an injury in November. I'm just saying he could use the excuse that he had an ACL in November and he actually just came back early. Well, I mean, Braxton Jones, what's his excuse been for the last 3 years? I mean, he getting
Hey,
pushed back
your
every
ACL
play.
stand for. Hey, his ACL was always caught looking.
Ooh.
That's his ACL right there.
Man,
You're
that's
right. He
bad.
had an ACL problem.
Oh, crooked leg.
Man,
So hey, next week is a real free agency start when these deals like this could officially be signed, where the Bears could actually sign Garrett Brasberry, and I do expect that they are going to sign Kevin Byer next week. And like Jay said, there's some rumblings about Briscoe may end up staying because I definitely haven't heard his name said all week. So that's a
Yeah.
possibility that it might happen. Yeah, because they haven't released him and they haven't said anything. Matter of fact, they haven't said anything about him even seeking a trade.
Yeah.
Ain't
Well,
So
Simone
it's
husband
been
gonna
quiet
be
on
his
this
field
front.
he don't
too?
have a contract, so you don't
I
have
was
to
gonna say, well,
release
he's
him.
the free agent. He's the free
Yeah,
agent.
you don't
So
have to
he's the
release him.
free agent. So they ain't got to
And
release him.
Oh yeah, he's a free agent, just right.
is it
Right,
Jonathan
right,
Owens?
right.
And he's still here too?
No, we have
Yeah,
not one
no,
safety signed
he's
on
a
our
free
roster.
agent.
We have not.
Wow.
All the free
Just
agents.
sign
Elijah
him just so we
Hicks,
can see Simone Biles, man. He ain't got
Elijah Hicks, Jonathan Owens, Kevin Byard, and Jaquan Briscoe are all free
more
agents.
free
So we
agents.
don't have not one.
Yep.
We don't have not one safety signed on our roster. And I want y'all to continue to think about this Kayvon Thibodeau thing because I think that's really interesting.
Mm.
So we'll see about that. And Max Crosby off the board now. So thank God. I'm so glad. But Trey Hendrickson, I heard that the Rams are really looking to sign Trey Hendrickson as well. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
some competition out there. So we gotta come to the table with some offers. So
What I
we'll see
saw
what happens.
today was the Bears are not even linked to Trey Henderson.
Yeah, that's what I saw that. I saw that as well. I saw that
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
not
So
even linked. And then you talking about Elijah Hicks. Hell, he was in free agency while he was on the roster. He was a free agent on the roster.
Hey,
Mm, mm, mm.
was Elijah Hicks the guy when they drafted him that was doing push-ups on the balcony? Was that him? I'm trying to remember, man. Because it was
I
one of
don't
the
remember.
guys when
I don't think it was
they
him.
got drafted. They started doing push-ups like I'm getting ready for the
Hmm.
season, but they never did anything. Because you remember
It-
Velus
But
Jones
but if you
showed
think
up with
about
a
it,
suit and a briefcase, right? Like he was gonna
but
take
if
care
you
of business.
but if you think about it, you talk about Elijah Hicks. Elijah Hicks been on this team for 4 years.
Yeah.
He spent his entire 4 year career on the Bears squad. So he's doing
Yep.
something right. He's doing something right. So we'll
yeah,
see what happens.
Roshan Johnson too.
Yeah, well, at least at least Elijah Hicks was
Oh, I'm
available to
sorry.
play. He was
Huh?
available. Elijah Hicks was available to play. So,
Yeah, being
Roshan,
available and playing is two
Roshan
different
wasn't.
things.
Roshan wasn't.
Hell, I'm available. I
Oh.
mean, I'm
Yeah, hey
available.
man, Roshan has been the same since Plank pointed out that he got stolen on the sidelines, man. At that point, at that
It's
point,
hard to come back
Roshan
from
ain't
that,
no
man.
right.
Man.
He haven't even smelt the field since then.
Mm, mm, mm.
I guess on special teams. But we get ready for next week, when we see some real moves made. And like I said, the positions that we definitely have need at is the linebacker position, defensive tackle, edge rusher, no safeties. Uh, right now, no starting linebackers on the team. Left tackle, at least we solved the center position. So the Bears got a lot to do with what you say, 52 million they freed up, Jay.
50. It's
And they
50
got
so
3 million
far.
in dead cap space too, I
Okay.
think.
I said this in our group. Look for Pose to make a splash deal before the NFL year. Look for him to make one move. You be like, oh my God. Look
Okay,
for
well,
him to
we're
make
gonna
a
see.
splash move.
We're gonna see.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
So
With that said,
Okay. If y'all
with
don't
that
got
said,
anything else, we can close out for the night. I mean, man, it's been a
yep.
great show. It's been a minute. Feel a little rusty, man, because we've been had about 2 weeks off, or 3 since the Super Bowl, whatever
At
that
least
was.
three, yeah,
Yeah.
at least. I was almost, yeah, it's been about 3 weeks. But free
yeah.
agent frenzy starts on Monday, so you know we gonna have a lot to talk about. Just like we had a lot to talk about today, although we was all over the place, but we had a lot to talk about today because the Bears did a lot of things in the last 48 hours. They've done a lot of things. So we'll hit it on Monday.
Yep.
Not Monday, but free agent frenzy starts Monday. So we'll hit y'all next Friday with a whole lot of news, and let's just hope that the Bears and Ryan Poles do some stuff,
Yeah.
and we can
And
call it a
defense
night.
gets an A. Forget you quick.
That's ever since you said that, that's been the problem. That's been the
Oh.
entire problem right there.
Mm, mm,
Defense don't
mm,
get an A.
mm,
I'm,
mm,
I'm waiting
mm.
on them to get rid of Jalen Johnson, man. Do me a favor. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm telling. Hey, I've been right about everybody else.
Okay,
Come on.
quick. Stop talking because I was just going to go into something. I'm like, I'll wait because I heard some rumblings about that today. But let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Do it.
All right,
Do it.
y'all.
Okay.
Bears
Push the
better.
All right.
damn button. Push the button.
Make sure you subscribe to Bears Banter. Hit the subscribe button so you get and leave on the notification bell so when we drop new content that you would get alert that we actually live on the new show. But until next time, peace.
Peace.